I like that. I like
The GST.
that. Yeah, we got a couple of minutes. We want to make sure that we do some Q&A. A few minutes.
Got some on topics? Question, Liz?
How are you?
To ask about the existing businesses that are on what are located in front of this development site. I went down there this morning and one of them told me that there are over 90 businesses there and they want to know when is the mayor going to come and talk to them about relocating. They basically, some of them have worked there for decades and they don't want to, they don't want to move to Bronx, they don't want to move to Brooklyn, they want to stay in Queens.
Okay, the local council person is here, and he has been on the ground with this issue. So she was asking about the local business.
Yeah. So look, this is something that was already. Sorry, this was something that was already discussed in prior administrations. During the De Blasio administration, they received over $6.5 million, I believe it was, to relocate. That money has been there. What they did with that, we'd have to ask them, but that was what the payout was for them to move to a co-op that was going to the Bronx, and that's where it has been since then. So I can't speak for those that decided to stay here, but they all received compensation from the previous administration, and they all agreed upon to move to the Bronx under that co-op, which was called the Sunshine Co-op, I believe the name is, several years ago. I can't speak to the ones that decided to stay. Everyone that was there has gotten the buyouts from the city prior to me taking office here. And also it was done with the previous administration that was about $6.5 million that they all agreed to do. Yeah.
I will say, Mr. Mayor, when we mentioned the casino in the presentation today, at what point in the finishing off of this process did that come up? And did you make any assurances to Steve Cohen or the Mets organization that the casino idea might be part of it?
So let's do this in layers. First, this was about the housing, the stadium, the jobs. That's what the announcement was about today. The entire conversation around what's going to happen with the casino, that's a state issue. I don't have the powers to determine the siting of that, and we wanted to celebrate this historic victory today. So the state can answer that question.
Julia?
How are you, Julia? Good. The Francisco Moya Stadium would be.
I love it. It's great. Perfect.
They will go through the naming rights, and they're going to pay the comparable cost of soccer stadiums that are sited throughout the country. They're going to be paying those comparable rates. I don't. Do we have a dollar amount, Andrew?
Yeah, sure. First of all, what's extraordinary about this stadium, unlike most other stadiums, is ground up, 100% privately financed. They will pay land rent. It will begin in the $500,000 range and ramp up to $4 million a year. There will likely be turnover in their sponsorship during that 49 years, and when that happens, the city participates in that upside. Those are the stadium's revenues. That's how you run a business once you open it up.
Mr. Mayor, just a couple of questions about the financing of the project. So is the city covering everything that's not the soccer stadium, and then also where is that money coming from?
Which one do you?
Sure. Right. So the soccer completely privately financed. The 100% affordable 2,500 units of housing, as are 100% affordable buildings, will be supported through HPD and HDC subsidies. Those are typical government subsidies with the building of affordable housing. And then we'll also be supporting the project with public infrastructure that is also typically provided for a project, residential or commercial, of this magnitude. And so the elements of the project that need government support will have that. But if you look at that type of support, it's also incredibly important to just remember the big picture. The big picture here is that we have 2,500 units of housing affordable to Queens residents, New Yorkers, the range of incomes, and very importantly, it's a type of project that will generate $6 billion in economic impact over 30 years and close to 16,000 jobs. So that is these should be looked at not just as expenditures, but as real investments in the future of this borough and the city.
For the deputy mayor, I think about for Mr. Mayor as well. I hear you on the private financing of the stadium and the hotel, as well as the economic impact. But what would be the price tag to the city about
We are on the public infrastructure. We are estimating that figure right now because, as the mayor mentioned, what we're building here throughout the entire project are water mains, sewers, street trees, sidewalks, catch basins. But a project of this magnitude, with this type of impact and the number of affordable units, from a public infrastructure perspective, is typically in the $200 to $300 million range.
How are you?
with the 1,400 units, affordable units in phase two, is there plans to add more seats
It's
for the school? Are there plans to add more seats in the school?
and we're going to shift and adjust as needed. The goal is that's why we're doing the new school. The councilman was clear. There were two things he walked away with. Number one, he wanted 100% affordable. And number two, he wanted to make sure that we will have a quality school on the site that, building a new school is going to give us so many advantages of making sure it's a state-of-the-art school system. And so as we need to adjust, we're going to continue to adjust to make sure every child has an opportunity to get the quality education they deserve.
Okay, thanks, folks.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. Listen, first of all, Commissioner Carrion, EDC President Andrew Kimball, amazing Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer, our Chief Housing Officer Jessica Katz, our Dan Garodnik, who's heading city planning. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but I just love my team.
Just one picture with my family that's here. Right here. Sorry. Please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.